Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness, again and again. And that's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. I will say this is a lovely day in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall rest therein. Resting therein is also including obedience. Obedience is better than sacrifice. All right. I'm coming to you again to let you all know that last week I met, this is to the elects, so you're going to run up on this same situation, so get ready, get ready, get ready. I met a man. I went to a yard sale and I met a man. And this man was a Caucasian, as I could see. And I want you, author, to be very cautious in how you really deal with individuals in person. And even not just in person, but even on these devil platforms. You have to be very cautious, no matter who you are. And the Most High Yah would allow you to really commune with certain situations to really prepare you for what you're going to actually come upon in the days to come. I thank him for that. But most of all, like I said in my last videos, when people see me, they see me. But there are those that's out there that knows that there's something greater than what they see. And this has been my life. And I have told you all several times that the things that everybody else has said that they have went through and gone through and was racist, they were discriminated and all of this and that. Sister Deborah cannot stand here and tell you that was her life. Their life was their life. My life was my life. And it's really not neither one of our life, because the breath of life came from the Most High Yah. I always tell people, if anything had to happen to my children, nobody would speak at their funeral outside of me. I would speak a message to the people. And the main topic of the message would be, you ain't had no life. Because see, when we take the spiritual part out, then that leaves the flesh man's mindset of its understanding. And that's why Sister Deborah has been on here talking to you about the spiritual part. And I am going to I might even cover it in this message. I might as well, because this got a part to do with the man that I met. That when you're not rooted in no spiritual realm that's godly, okay, that's the creator, then you're rooted in the spiritual realm that is evil and wicked, okay, which 99.9 is where our flesh loves to rumble. Okay. And I will say this, that throughout my life, I have been able to see through the spirit, and only through the spirit, not because of my flesh or Deborah, or some people call me Booby or whatever. It's because of spirit. The things that I see that's going on, I have backed away of speaking regarding it, because the mind, which he says that say they see and cannot see, 99.9 is on these platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. But there are other people that carrying the light that's not, don't even give the platform the time of day. But see, my calling is what it is. It is what it is. And I thank the Most High for allowing me to reside in the wilderness, because there I see his face. I know who he is. I can hear him. I can behold him. I can see his power work. You see? But if I was in the world, I couldn't do that. If I was where many are at, I couldn't do that. So where he has me is where he wanted me to be. And that is where he told me I shall sleep. So I thank him for being in the wilderness, because a lot of people don't understand what the wilderness is. And I'm going to cover that topic too for the elects only. Okay. And this here is also for a treat for the elects only. Okay. I met a man, elect, and he said to me, I asked him, he said several things. So happened I was the only one at that yard sale at 7 a.m. in the morning. Later on to find out that the crew came in at 6 when it was said in the ad it starts at 7. But the crew came in at 6, he said. And it shocked me because it seemed like he still had so much stuff. See, the crew that was coming in was those who was anxious and couldn't wait to follow the rules, the guideline. They so used to having things their way, doing it the way I want to do it. He said they was parked all around his house for blocks, sitting out smoking, making noise. He said he decided to just open up the garage and let them have their way. Why? Because they made their way clear. We're out here. We're a Caucasian. We are waiting for the items you have. Now, it said 7. Why are you out here at my house? You see, when I did a yard sale, one day I made something like 1,230, somewhere up there. And then the next day I made like 9 something. But the thing about it, you come early, you stay. Nothing the big old land that I had the yard sale, you wasn't coming on this land until the time in which I had appointed for the yard sale. Now, he said he let him in because his mother was saying, now he looks like he's about 68, give or take, skin real clear, very groomed, look very healthy. And you're going to understand why I'm saying that. So he allowed them in and they came. But when I came, I was the only one there. During the time I was there, and that short time I was there because I had to take my daughter to work at 8 o'clock. So therefore I had to get in and get out. And I was only there a half an hour. But I went in at 7 and I got out of there at exactly 7:30. So what held me in there and threw me off was when this man began to speak. And the things that he was beginning to speak, it kind of threw me off because in me, I'm trying to discern as he's speaking who he is. And what happened is I turned to him and said, and who are you? How did you know that? See, that's because when people say things around me, my whole antenna comes up. Who are you? And how did you know that? The reason why I say that is because I know who I am in the higher power. But who are you? And where did you get this from? Similar to where a lot of people, 99.9, didn't understand what Yeshua was saying to Peter. When he asked him, who do thou say that I am? The other ones couldn't pinpoint it the way Peter nailed it. The reason why Peter nailed it is the way Sister Deborah talked to you all. She nailing you in the spirit realm. So Peter came up against Yeshua in the spirit realm. And when he did that, first thing Yeshua did came back to him in the spirit realm. Flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you, but my Father in heaven. So right then, notice Yeshua separate himself from the Father. He even separated the distance from the Father. How did he do that, Deborah? He said, flesh and blood did not reveal that unto thee. Why? Because Yeshua was in flesh and blood. He was the Son of Man. Okay? Yeshua is and was the Son of Man. Okay? In him rests the Son of God. His mission wasn't to say a word, but let the Son of God be the overseer, overspeaker, over everything. But Yeshua was the sacrifice. They came to work together to complete the mission of the Father. So Yeshua said to Peter, flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you. In a sense, wait a minute now. I said not a word. I said not a word. Flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you, meaning I, the Son of Man, didn't reveal that to you, but the Father in heaven. You see? separating himself as the Son of Man, flesh and blood, didn't reveal that unto you, but the higher power in the heaven. So when I come up on people and they saying things that I feel that they should not be knowing, or if they do know it, who are you? So when I said that, you know what this white guy did with a beautiful smile? He looked at me, he smiled, he said, the same spirit that rests in you. And right then, I started piling my stuff up, getting out of there. I piled it up. He gave it to me for the little of nothing. I got in that truck. I said, I'm left with my daughter. And when I got in that truck, first thing I thought, Father, what was that? What was that? I started to make a video. And I canceled out my video on that. I started to make my video. I said, what was that? Because I'm saying to the Most High, you didn't prepare me for that. You didn't tell me that I was coming up on that. What was that? But y'all didn't come to my rescue in this area until a week later. A little over a little week later. Because this man told me, if once you leave, and if people don't come to buy the rest of these items, I sell it all to you for a little of nothing. I own a thrift store, and all these items that he had, I could use in a thrift store. I could actually put in my thrift store, okay? Because the people that comes out, it's a lot of men that comes out looking for tools and the type of stuff he had in this garage. His father had died. We started off with the conversation. He started off with the conversation about his father had passed and this coronavirus, and I told him, do he understand that it is not what they said it is? And that's when he started spinning what he was seeing. And I asked him, who are you? Because I wanted to know, who are you? Meaning in the spirit realm. And you know what he said? He said, I am one that's in the spirit just like you. Right then, my antenna went up. I started to gather myself and I left. So after then, I took my daughter to work and back. I knew it was something spiritual because when I went to the house and I blew the horn for my daughter to come out, she came out in a way I have never seen her. She normally have herself together. My daughter came out with evil and wicked and angry and saying things very disrespectful to me. And I'm still asking the Father, what's going on here? I went to a man who said that he got the spirit and he was able to identify my spirit, at least I think. Here I come home to take her to work, and this demonic spirit is on her saying things to me like I've been and knocked her out. I said, what's going on? So as time went on that morning, I dropped her off and was so angry with her. And I ended up going to my second yard sale. When I went to my second yard sale, the man said, everything you want, everything is $1. I just piled up everything I can on my truck. And I was saying, I am truly blessed. I felt so good in my spirit that the Most High had prepared people to give me these different things that I needed for my store. And I thank him even to today for that, because it's no way that normally happens. And I too was the only one collected everything that was there. Now, I tried to put all those pieces together and could not have. I couldn't. The man that said he was going to give me all of that, and he said, this is how he said it. I know you are, in a sense, identifying my spirit and saying that he has that spirit too. And he said, when this sale is over, I'm going to let you have everything for the little of nothing. When all the stuff he had given me was very reasonable and what I paid for it. So he said, here's my number. And I put his number into the phone. He said, and send it to mine so I could text you when it's over. And you know what? 2 days later, he did text and told me I could have everything in his garage. And he had fishing rods, which I have a lot of fishing rods in my store. And would you believe the connection to this man? He was like, okay, my son and I, we went and we collected everything he had, which was filled up the truck. We left a lot of stuff. And he said, don't worry about it. I can drop it off at your store. So I said, that's fine. You know, he was kind and he was pleasant and he was smiling with a smile, just a beautiful smile. You know, I'm like, okay, well, maybe he is someone. What is it? Let me tell you all, elects, there are those times it's going to be in your life in which the Most High is going to send you out just so you can be tempted. You have to be very cautious. You're going to fail because that's the whole ideal of the test. It's the whole ideal is to send you in situations that later on in life you're going to enter in. And he's just preparing you for it. And what he did is this man wanted to talk further about the spirit realm. So he came and he to the store, brought all those items. And he began to talk about the spirit realm. But I'm going to tell you all what I have learned in the last, along with yesterday too. There are those that's out. I don't think they are a clone. But I think, yeah, they could be too. There are those spirits that's out that know who you are, elects. They know who you are. Know that that which is greater in you got your back, your front, and every side. They're not going to be able to defeat you. But what they're coming to do is to try to knock you off through the fleshly realm, thinking you will lose your spiritual mission. You shall not. You will not. See, they so ignorant, they don't understand. When Yeshua went into the wilderness and he to fast, then he went up to the mount to be tempted. See, it need be that these things that Yeshua was doing, it need be. It was a gift to you, elects, and to me to know that we're going to be tempted. But we must keep in mind that we don't live on every word that proceeded out of the mouth of man, nor the food. And you have to understand that food is to be more so a spiritual thing than a natural thing. You see what I'm saying? Because it's really coming to tell you, you live on every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah. Since I've been on this platform, I realized how the Hebrew Israelite movement has lost their way. They have totally lost their way. Every last one except for Josh. They have lost their way 100 times 1 trillion. They have lost their way. They don't understand that everything in this book is not out of the mouth of Yah. Okay? If so, Yeshua spoke what came out of the mouth of Yah, not what comes out of a book or what someone taught him or what someone told him. He said, it is written. Where is it written? Where is it written? In the bosom of the Most High Yah, that man shall not live on bread alone, but everything that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah. The bread that he speaks of is the things that nourish the flesh. See, you got to take that bread and understand it ain't meaning just food. It's talking about what you need for your flesh. It's fleshly. You need a good message from somebody on this devil platform. You need a good sermon from a pastor. You need a good word from an elder. You need a good word from a Moor. You need a good word from a teacher. That's all in your flesh. But every word that what proceeded out of the mouth of Yah, and only way you're going to get the word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah is spirit. You can't get it. That's why he was in the wilderness, fasting. That flesh was fasting, turning down everything that the flesh desired, just to go up to that mountain and stand for what the Most High Yah is saying. I thank the Most High for that, because that is what comfort us to understand. In this old world, we're going to have to go up to that mountain throughout our lives. But we're going to have to know how to come down, and we got to bring this flesh to subjection to the spirit that knows how to grip the hem of the Most High Yah's garment and come down off that mountain. But if your spirit is not in its right place, then how can you grip the hem of his garment and come down off of the mountains of the world, which is trouble, heartaches, issues of life? We don't live on those. We live on every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah. And it is spirit and it is truth. It is not a book that you can precept truth. It is not a book where you can line truth. It is not a book where you can little here and a little there. It is not a host of books that has been missing and lost. It is a spirit that rests in you and teach you what comes out of the mouth of Yah, spirit and truth. So that's where we at, elects. Come up out of them and know that he is Yah, Almighty. Everything that's righteous, everything that's good, everything that's excellent, everything that's perfect, everything that's great, everything that's powerful, everything that's all-knowing, everything that's wisdom, and all the understanding that exists in the spiritual and natural realm is Yah. Your spirit has to get there, elects. You there? You just got to touch the hem of his garment, that he may make you whole in your spirit, and stop being led by these lessons and these teachings on these devil platforms every Wednesday, every Friday, and every Saturday. Trust in the Most High Yah with all your heart, soul, and strength. Not trust in man and woman, their messages, their teaching, their understanding. Trust in the Most High Yah. So here it is with this man. Guess what I found out? He was one of the ones in Revelation, the synagogue of Satan, sat here, bypass me, a prophetess in the wilderness. If it had not been for the Most High Yah, in spirit and truth, I would never have been able to stand. I destroyed everything. He began to give me 7 keys to knowing if you are the elects. I said unto him, there's no 7 keys to knowing that you are elect. Where are you getting that from? It's no keys that tells you that you are the elect. And the 7 keys were wrapped around scientists, chemistry, things that has no relevance to the Most High Yah. I thank the Most High Yah for who he is in me that's so greater than anybody on this devil platform. Thank you, Father Yah. This man was, he's a electronic engineer. I mean, if this is what happened. I had boats and ships in my store. He broke down why it had 3, whatever, why the flags, what they represent. He broke down everything in the ship. He breaks down everything about every nomination about the United States of America. He tries to break it down, but he break it down like the synagogue of Satan, the Jews, the Judaizers. So whatever you want to call them, the fake Jews in Revelation. He breaks the things down to try to conquer you in that realm to understand. And I say, who are you? What's your nationality? You know what that Negro said? No, let me say it. He wasn't no Negro. Let me get that right. You know what that man said? He said, I did a genealogy or whatever they call it of who I am. And I was very shocked. He began to put this smile, this beautiful smile. And he said, to find out that I had black and I had Indian, a lot of Indian. He began to tell me the story of the Indian, who was the first tribe and who's this, who was the first Indian here and all that stuff to me, like I try to tell you all. where he was trying to take me, let me tell y'all something. Where he was trying to take me was in a realm of where history have taken many of you all. Because when you go chasing all these books, oh, he went to Enoch's. He went to all these here, what is it? I can't even think of the name right now. Apocalypse. No, he took me all over, all kind of books. But when he was finished, greater is he that is in me, that is he that's in the world. I let the man speak. I had an ear to hear him. But when he finished, he didn't understand. I was hearing behind here. I was discerning who he was. And I was trying everything y'all gave me. Try the Spirit, Deborah. By the Spirit, Deborah. I used every weapon that rests in me to discern who he was. Thank you, Father Yah. If it wasn't for you, I would not have been able to do that. Because this man was coming educated. He was coming wise through history. But then I said, you have a problem, sir, identifying your nationality. I don't like to get into that. I said, but you started our conversation off that you did a genealogy or whatever, and you found out you was Indian and some black. I bet you were number 1% black, and I bet you ain't number 1% Caucasian. 1% Indian. Who else? He refused to tell me because I called him. You are a Jew, a fake Jew. I said, I know who you are. See, and then he began to tell me you would never be the Spirit unless you follow these 7 categories. And all of them had to do with what man can control. Y'all control it all, be honest. But what man feeds us to get us to fall into what they want us to fall in, that's the problem on these devil platforms. When Deborah says devil platform, you best bet it is a devil platform. And if Deborah say it is what the Most High said to me that it is. And I'm going to call it all the days of my life. As long as I'm on here, I'm going to call it what he has given me to call it. And it is the devil platform. And that's who's been feeding you your lessons. And you've been eating it as a full meal deal. But back to this man. All the things he had from chemistry to theology, all this other stuff that he said you had to have to be able to have that spirit. I brought him down and told him, wait a minute, hold up. He said, but let me, no, he was the type that wanted to control the whole conversation. Didn't want you to say nothing. He began to tell me all these different ways that he can heal people. With all these different chemicals, they're not chemicals, natural herbs. And how he takes bones and boil them to get something out of them that people can use. I don't have no problem with that. I'm all in agreement with how he can train the women's cycle so they don't have to have no feelings the rest of their lives. You know, with this different liquid something he had. All he had to do was put a tab. How is it that the country teaching you? He still teaches people under the sea. He teaches all kind of things. And I'm like, who gives him the authority to still be a teacher in all these other areas? Everything he knows about. It's nothing that he don't know about. But one thing he didn't know, who he had in the midst of him. He left defeated by the Most High Yah. Because nothing he said for the 5 hours he was there penetrated. Thank you, Father Yah. Thank you, Father Yah. For being there when I needed you. As always. If it wasn't for the Most High Yah teaching me, abiding in me, being greater in me, that's what the world has to manipulate you and deceive you with, I don't know where I would have been. This was a man that I didn't need the Apocalypse. Or I didn't need all these other books that was taken out. He brought up Enoch. He brought up a wife that was what Adam was created before Adam. All this nonsense. Let me tell y'all something. You can always add. You can always take away. But when it come down to the Ruach HaKodesh, that spirit, It's going to speak truth that cannot be added and that cannot be taken away. It's going to be the I am. It's going to be what it said it is. The I am. It's not going to be everything everybody want to add to it and say this was hidden, this was taken away, they took this from us, they took this. All that is a lie from the pit of hell to deceive many. It's vain and it's vast. It can do nothing for you today but manipulate your mind to make this mind, which is fleshly, be clean in all its ways. And it is not of Yah. This man was so educated in the Bible and Enoch and all of them, sitting there right before my eyes. I mean, like from here to here. 5 straight hours, my son said, Mama, I didn't know what he was doing, what he was saying, but he was talking. I said, and I'm sitting here listening to him. Everything he said, I was standing him, looking him dead in his eyes, and I chopped it. I let him talk. I'm a person to respect. I let you talk, bro. But you don't know who's in me. I'm going to let you rumble. But when you finish, you're going to realize nothing you said meant anything. And he figured that out. Then he go telling me, I know y'all probably done heard about all this crap. That's a lot of them getting tied up in it, and stay away from it. Don't get involved. I don't know if many of y'all heard of them. I believe a lot of the Negroes ain't heard nothing about it. That's why I say that only thing that I could possibly understand spiritual, that an awakening came to bring more ignorance. The awakening came to bring more ignorance. You have men focusing on today, a woman being submissive and wives being in control, then being under subjection, their own flesh to their own spirit, so it can line up with Yah. That's sad. They're still trying to get the household in control instead of getting their own self lining up with the Most High Spirit. That's sad. I see GOCC still talking that yang about women being submissive. Pastor Dow about women being submissive. Trying to get women away, that vain and vax. Only thing can get anything in order is the Most High Yah. But he first got to get you in order before he can get anything that around you in order. You understand? And in order don't mean because you on this devil platform and you done found books that's lost. As if y'all just don't know nothing and you don't know it all. You know what's lost. You know what's found. You know what is. You know what was. You know what's going to be. But y'all don't know nothing. Those are the type of people you all follow. I heard someone telling somebody makeup and jewelry and eyelashes. That ain't got nothing to do with the Most High Yah. That is vain and vox talking. That is witchcraft. That is unjust information. Get the spirit under subjection to your flesh. No, get the flesh under the subjection to your spirit and stop talking about the things on the outer man. That means nothing to the Most High. Y'all want your inner man to worship him in spirit and in truth. You can't teach the people that because you don't have it in you. In your own eyes, you have been clean for so many years. People who men are not even able to calm their wives down in their teaching because the wives went all overboard. They know it all. They know it all because their flesh is not under the subjection to the spirit of the Most High God. Because if it was, it would be trying to control their husband's way of thinking, the way of teaching. You can see it out of control. Now, if a man is on the internet and his wife there, she ruling it. She controlling the whole conversation, interacting while he's speaking. Why? Because she trained him to be in control, so she can be in. That ain't the way it's supposed to be. First of all, they and one of them need to be on the devil platform doing anything if they not teaching spirit and truth. Anything that they get on here with that does not represent spirit and truth is a lie from the pit of hell, and that too shall be judged by the Most High Yah. All these people think they can be on this devil platform and lead the multitude to worship and honor them and think that y'all ain't going to judge them on that. Yes, you will stand before him and he's going to judge you on that. You didn't lead him to me. You led him to you. With all these worldly conversations, all these things that have no connection to worship him. No one cares about what the person look like on the outside. No one cares about the way a person dressed. No one cares about who they marry and who they don't marry. No one cares about these little things. Why? Because greater is him that's not on the outer side of a man, but what's on the inside. That rules and control all things. But they don't want to do that because they have been so successfully getting a check from giving you the food of the world. And you walking around here like you got a full meal deal. And that's not for you, elects. That's not for you, elects. Because greater is still yet in you than he is that's in the world. You know these things, but you just can't pinpoint it. Sister Deborah's words just only give you confirmation for what's already invested in you. So, back to this man. I got all the way over there, didn't I? Back to this man. He was really powerful as far as in what he was saying. A lot of things he was saying, the Spirit of the Most High just brought me into being able to understand what he was saying. I have not fallen under the teaching, nor the theory, nor the nothing. And I thank the Most High. I really thank the Most High that I don't have to go to a school of scholars and academies and all these things that man has set up to give you what that you want. Tell me who school and academy and who did Mark, Luke, John, David, and all of them set up on Abraham. I wonder why they didn't have a teacher in a man. They had the Most High himself. That's who Deborah represents. Him and him only. The creator of it all. They can blink an eye. Don't even have to blink an eye. Just have to look an inch of a second and I can be out of here. So I fear that who he is than what's on these devil platforms. So I say unto you, this man, he came power punching, then he texted me the next morning. And every word he texted me was in Hebrew. And every word represents the devil. He said, these are words that came to me in a dream. And these words you might be interested in. Why would I be interested in your evil words? And then he put Hakadash in there. He took the Hak off and put Kadash in there. And along with all those evil words, and thought I wasn't going to be able to be able to pinpoint them all. And I pinpoint them all, and all of them represents everything that the Jews over in Israel represents. It's deep. And I was like, wow. And he put on there, and have a blessed day. You know, I hope we can get together and learn from one another. No, bro, I know who you are. And I thank the Most High that you come knowing who I was. See, how is it that the devil know who you are and can't come up on you because the shield that Yah has on you since you was a child? But those that you're trying to get to see the goodness, the pure, perfect, great, excellent, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding of the Most High Yah, they don't get it. But that they say that they're awakening and they got it all. They're awakening to ignorance and stupidity of being deceived by many on this devil platform. So I, Sister Deborah, would say to you, I thank the Most High for being in the presence of me, spirit, and in truth, to be able to sit that close. And as I sat close, he did not even understand. I had discerned that he was a Jew, a fake Jew. I began to even tell him in Revelation how it speaks in the chapter 2 and chapter 3 about the synagogue of Satan, which were the fake Jews are. I just began to say things, but the more I say, I can look in his eyes and in him trying to see if I really knew who he was. And I told him, you can sit here all day and night. I can read you from front to back. And that, I think, put on the, And he began to play the role that which he had came to play, to deceive me from the outer man. And I thank the Most High for being greater in me than he that was in the world that was trying to deceive me. Sister Deborah ain't got it. I told you many times I ain't got no sense. I came here with no sense. But one thing I got spirit and truth. So I say unto you, elects, come get on the same horse that I'm riding. You there already. So this is a treat for the elects only. Shalom.